Hello friends, it's Nancy from Astrology and Angel Mediums today with another deck unboxing. Today I have the Ritual Earth Oracle by Andres Engracia, illustrated by Selena Moon. And this is going to be a 36 card deck with the inclusion of a guidebook. It is also published by Rockpool. So this is essentially going to be a deck that allows you to kind of connect to spiritual wisdom through rituals, festivals, and celebrations. I did think that it was going to be a fun addition into my collection, as it does have like multicultural references, which I do love. So the inside of the box has a moon. It almost reminds me of the like Moonology cards by Hay House. So same image on the other side of the box. Nice box. It is a nice shiny finish, and it almost looks like it has like a holographic-esque effect to it. So here's the cards. They have silver edges, which is nice, and a nice backing. Nice back of the cards that is reversible if you like to read reversals. Some of these decks don't have reverse meaning, so you don't always have to read a reversal. Come on. There you go. All right, and then we have some information on Rockpool. All right, so here is the guidebook. It is pretty hefty, pretty chunky for one of these smaller ones. Let's see. I do love that they make these guidebooks full color, which is really nice, and it is a matte finish on the inside. It's not like shiny pages, which is nice. So there's not a lot of reflection. So here we have an introduction talking about why the deck maybe was inspired, how to use the cards, and then with some recommendations on like how to connect more. And then there's card spread. So there's the 3-card spread, Ritual of Life. So there's 2 card spreads in here. All right, so let's get into what the guidebook has to say about the cards themselves. So full color, again, lots of information, which is really nice. And so here we have the Hungry Ghost Festival for East Asia. I do like that there's also the reference of where these rituals have been done, and then it has the inclusion of a small ritual that you can kind of do for yourself that would honor this energy. So it's almost 3 pages. So Endless Light, the Beltane Fire Festival in Scotland. So again, almost 3 pages full of stuff, which is nice. The Seeker, Mardi Gras in New Orleans. So really nice. And it is nice. It's telling you how to celebrate and connect to that energy. The Marigold Dreams, Dia de los Muertos in Mexico. So there's how to do, celebrate in your own way as well. The Way of Water in Thailand. Past and Future, Fête du Vaudou in Benin. And so it has a lot of, these are really nice. I like that there's the inclusion of how you can kind of celebrate this energy and connect a little bit more. So there's even Burning Man included in here. The Miracle Maker, Butter Lamp Festival in Tibet. The Healer. The artwork is really it's very evocative, if that makes sense. It kind of draws you in. So Inti Raymi in Peru, Abundant Paths in Diwali, India, Colors of Life in Holi, India, and Nepal. Here we are for Sydney, Mardi Gras, Sydney. I did not realize that Sydney also has its own Mardi Gras. That's interesting. There's Natural Magic for the Green Man Festival in Wales. Soul Return and Burning of Sosobra, USA. I've never heard of this one. So now I'm over here like, what is that? Oh, it's in New Mexico. Oh my gosh, I don't live that far from Santa Fe. So I'm like, I've never heard of that. The Witch's Heart, and Walpurgis Germany. I probably butchered that. My German is horrendous. I'm so sorry. Initiation and Walkabout Australia, or Walkabout Australia. I'm assuming that is the festival. And so pilgrimage, the Kumela, India. Yeah, okay, so I see this is like the card name, and then this is the festival, and then where it is. So, and Huelascueta Festival in Mexico. All right, and then the Shadow Self. So it's nice. It has a bunch of different things that like I wouldn't have had any knowledge about. So it's really nice. So here we have the Inner Mystery. Respectful Reverence for New Zealand. It has a lot of different countries, which is really nice too. It's not just focused on like more Western civilization, if that makes sense. I do like that there's an inclusion of all these different things. So there's Egyptian, there's ancient festivals, Krampusnacht, Abundant Harvest, the Moon Cake Festival in Asia, La Tomatina in Spain, in Japan. So there's a lot of stuff in here. And Bacchanalia in Rome. Did I lose it? I probably lost my page. Where was I at? There's Flower Magic. And we have The Word Is Your Wand, a naming ceremony. Interesting. They even have stuff that are maybe like aren't really rooted in just one place. Higher Perspective, a celestial funeral. Wow, I like this energy. Saturn return. That's a good one to include. I mean, I know it's not something a lot of people tend to celebrate. As a Saturn return can be quite challenging and hard. And then there's an ayahuasca ceremony. And I think that's all we have. It's really, this is beautiful too. I do like the artwork. I do like how this looks. I don't usually like a lot of this kind of like digital, like collage style. I think as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm starting to appreciate it a little bit more than I used to. So let's get into these cards and see what they actually look like. So these are going to be a shiny finish. You can see my lamp. So I'm going to try to kind of angle it to where you don't see my lamp as much. So again, it has the card name and then some keywords, which is really nice, especially if you're someone that likes to read a little bit more intuitively. But I think the inclusion of the information in the guidebook can be a really great way to deepen the connection, to maybe have like a very nice purpose to what it is that you're doing. So we have the Endless Light, because it gives you a little bit more guidance about where the celebration was originated from, where it is celebrated, and how it is celebrated. The Seeker, Marigold Dreams, The Way of Water, Past and Future. Is this Utopia? The Miracle Maker, the Healer, the Catalyst, Abundant Paths, the Colors of Life. Here we are, Natural Magic, the Soul Return, the Witch's Heart, Initiation, the Pilgrimage, Symbiosis. This is beautiful. I wonder if this one was a Mexican one, because it reminds me very much of like the skirts from traditional like dance wear in Guadalajara, and even in Mexico they have like these beautiful like ribboned skirts and they kind of flap around. Anyways, the Shadow Self, the Leap of Faith, Inner Mystery, Respectful Reverence, the Synchronicity, Merrymaking, the Golden Pyramid, Reap What You Sow. That one is kind of spooky. I don't know if you guys have ever been to like a Krampus like celebration, or like one of the Christmas markets or something like that, and then they have like a Krampus night. It's really interesting. It's funny. I love how the people will like come through and look very scary. Abundant Harvest. There's Frolic. Who doesn't love a tomato? Chasing Demons. The Bacchus Feast. Flower Magic. The Word as Your Wand. The Higher Perspective card. Breaking the Matrix. I think this is a Saturn return card, right? And Soul Shift Medicine. That's really beautiful. So, all right, let's see. Oh, I didn't even tell you. So the cardstock is nice, not super thick. This is nice if you don't like very, very thick cards, or like me, if you have smaller hands and kind of struggle with very, very thick cards to get them shuffled. And don't say it's my nails, because even before I had my nails, I always struggled with the decks. I just don't have very large hands. And that's okay. It is what it is. All right, let's see if they shuffled good. They do shuffle really nice. I think because they are more of like this glossy kind of finish, I do notice that it tends to kind of slide a little bit easier together. All right, let's see what we got. We have Endless Light. We have the Catalyst card. And then we have the Flower Magic card. Lots of circles I'm noticing here. And then finally, the Way of Water. So that's nice. I think that this would be a really nice way to kind of connect to maybe different aspects of your life. I'm trying to think of like how I would use this deck in my own like personal practice. I think that this would be good for like some sort of journaling, maybe even if there is like a celebration coming up, and as we're kind of coming into, you know, the holiday season here, I don't know if you guys are starting to feel like that pressure of like, oh, I got to do this and this and this and this, and I got to start planning all of these things for the future. I think this is nice to kind of maybe take a step into what to really focus on, how to celebrate, how to kind of honor different things that may be happening in your life. And yeah, I'm going to say celebrate, because there's a lot of things going on in this world that, you know, can be so mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually draining. And I think sometimes we forget that like we still need to have, you know, that human experience of coming together and taking some time out to enjoy, you know, being alive while we can. So let me know what you guys think of this deck. Is this a deck that is on your radar? Is this a deck that you would have added into your collection? And again, it's called the Ritual Earth Oracle. I really hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, stay safe, and as always, make good choices. Bye.